Let's talk to you. You don't have to lie to me.
Just visiting friends.
You can just say I'm not going to tell you why I'm here. But I mean, you have friends, and why aren't you visiting them right now? Then you're not.
You're one of my friends. I'm here, hanging out with the TechCrunch crowd.
Okay, fair enough. I apologize for calling you a liar.
I did live here for 9 years, so I have a lot of friends here.
Okay. I just wanted to point a camera at you and do an exit interview. Talk about your time at Microsoft, what you did there, what you think they're doing right with regard to reaching out to the community, which was a big part of your job, specifically with developers, what you think they could be doing better at, what advice you'd give them as you go on to whatever you're going to do next. So you talk to us a little bit about what you did at Microsoft.
Yeah, I worked with Daniel Lewin, the emerging business team. Our job was to evangelize to startups, expose them to Microsoft technologies, and show them some love, give them attention when they started developing products. We helped them in any way that we could. BizSpark was one of our big programs, and it allowed us to give software to startup companies that were less than 3 years old, less than $1 million in revenue.
Yeah.
And it was our way of helping the startup community.
That was announced last year.
It was 1 year ago, November 6th.
And how did that program go? How's it been going?
It was successful beyond our wildest dreams. We had some internal goals and we blew them away. We basically doubled the goal that we set for ourselves in 1 year.
What was the goal, or can you not say?
I don't think I should say.
Okay.
Maybe someone.
And the goal was sort of total number of companies using various tools that you made available to them. These are development tools, the platform stuff, and getting them to build on, .NET platform, things like that, right?
Yeah, development tools, servers, the whole thing.
Yeah. What were the main ways that you got these companies to use the tools, your BizSparks? How did you spread the word? I mean, obviously through blogs, we announced it.
Yeah.
I know you've done advertising with other blogs, but what other ways? I mean, obviously you're the face of a lot of this. You were at events sort of constantly, right?
Yeah, well, being at events is important. It's we show the face of Microsoft. Sometimes it's hard to penetrate Microsoft, so we try to be out there, open, available, and tell the story. So that was a big part of it. I think another big part was our network partner program. And again, we played a big part in that. We went out to the venture capitalists and the angels and the incubators and
meet with them and talk to other companies.
Met with them and said, here's a program. We want you to give this to your people. You see more startups than we do. There are more of you than there are of us. So, and we recruited a great number of people to do that. So it was a very successful program.
And so why'd they let you go if it was so successful?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. It was a surprise to me, but it's business, and they have the reasons.
Who will take over that sort of role as ambassador to startups at Microsoft?
Well, there are more people there. They're just not very visible.
Yeah.
And maybe that was the problem. Maybe I was too visible, and that didn't set well with some people. But it's my job. That's what I do.
Well, there were some events back east that had, like Y Combinator type events where there'd be a bunch of launching young startups. We couldn't send someone. You'd be there, and you'd write a guest post, or we'd repost the stuff that you wrote on your own blog, just so we had some coverage of the startups. And it was like, I'm sure you didn't have to be there either, but it seems like that's a really good thing for Microsoft to have that kind of presence.
I thought so. I thought it was important. I think it's important to be there, to be present, to tell the story, to be available. I think that's what evangelism is about.
Yeah.
Apparently, people at Microsoft had a different view of that.
What would you say Microsoft can do differently if you were giving them advice, say now as a consultant? What would you advise they do to continue the success of the program?
Be visible, be out there, write blogs, be part of the community. It's if you're going to put a personal face on Microsoft, it has to be personal. You have to be out there.
And authentic. I mean, times you got mad. I remember you got angry once because some really negative comments on a blog post that you wrote for TechCrunch, right? And I remember you were saying like, "God, it's just terrible. There's these just automatically." I'm putting words in your mouth a little bit because I don't remember. But I remember you were upset that so many people were just immediately dismissing a lot of young startups as not real companies.
Right.
like in a good way, I think, and
Yeah, defensive, because it's easy to criticize. It's easy to sit back and say, "Oh, these startups are never going to do anything. They don't count." But it's much harder to create, and these guys are creating. And I think you had a quote that I picked up on.
The sticker quote.
Yeah, that was a great quote. Those who say it can't be done shouldn't interrupt those who are doing it. I thought that was a great quote. I got it from you, and I used it myself. And that's what I said. And, I've been a judge at TechCrunch 50 for, 3 years. All 3 years. And I think it's important that judges at these kinds of events look at the idea, look at the founders, and project into the future where they're going to be, not where they are today. Paul Graham always says, if you looked at Google when they were 3 months old, you would have laughed and you would not have been impressed. And that's what we're doing. That's what venture capitalists do every day.
Yeah.
They look at companies that don't exist yet and they see the potential. And I get a little upset when these anonymous people, they never put their name. There are all these anonymous people that are throwing pot shots at startups. And I just don't think it's fair.
So what's next for you? I'm assuming you're out here interviewing. You said you're out here to meet friends, but I don't buy that. So, where are you going to go work next?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Do you already have a job?
No, I don't have a job yet. The outpouring of
nothing nailed down yet.
No, nothing nailed down yet. What are you doing?
Just don't look.
Michael, you're always playing tricks. No, the outpouring of support and the opportunities and people who wanted to talk was truly stunning to me. I'm sure there's a good opportunity for me somewhere.
Well, I'm messing around by pointing at the Google logo behind you that I put up, not you, but it just seems to me that's a perfect fit because they're
a lot of people have said that.
They obviously are love developers and on many of their platforms. They're in particular Android right now, of course, they're reaching out to developers, but they're reaching out to enterprise customers. They're doing a lot of things where there's, I think you'd be very, very good at it. Would it be? There have been other notable Microsoft executives who are now at Google, and I think it's always tough because people who are good at their jobs tend to really believe in what it is they're doing, and so you obviously weren't faking it when you were enthusiastic about Microsoft. So would that be hard for you to end up at any company that was competing with them? Well, you have to believe in what you do. So I'm not a hired gun. I can't just go to any random company and be their spokesperson. So I have to believe in it. But are you asking, are there companies other than Microsoft that I believe in? Sure. Which ones? I think if you look at innovation today and the companies that are really innovating, Apple is at the top of the list. And are you meeting with them this week? I can't tell you that. Okay, sorry. Apple, you were saying Google? But Apple, Google, Facebook, Twitter, they are innovating. All of which are within a 50-mile radius of where you are right now? They're within... Some of them are within... less than 5 miles of it. Yeah. Twitter's probably 30 miles away, but all the rest are, so there are some great companies that are doing really interesting things. Yeah. They're innovating. All of them care about third-party developers on various platforms. That's right. They care about developers. I think Google has a lot of work to do there. They're a very sophisticated company, but I don't think they've made the effort to work with developers and the startup community the way others have. But they're all terrific companies doing great things and have great futures. So, it would be easy to be an ambassador for them because they're just doing great things. Good. Well, thank you for this. Again, I wasn't able to get you to say anything negative about Microsoft. No, I won't say anything negative. I think is a great thing about you. It'd be a better story if you would. But thanks very much for taking the time to do this. Well, thank you. Okay, it's turned off now. So, anything you want to say off record? No, not yet. Yeah, nothing. You'll be the first to know. Yeah, but what about those bastards at Microsoft? Like, Nothing.
No. Hey, look, every company has great people, and they have some.
Come on, cut the
not
shit.
so
Like
great.
one thing. What's the one thing that pissed you off the most? Where the cameras not even on anymore.
It is too. I can see the red light.
Oh, okay. We're talking.
No, I was just surprised.